Hi everybody, how are you? Kim Maxwell. We are on day 3 of living a fat loss lifestyle. And today I am talking about training for fat loss. And I want to make it very clear who I'm talking to. I am talking to ladies mainly, pretty much ladies. I mean, of course, if your husband wants to get in on all this with you, it's wonderful. But most of my hormone talks and all of that have to do with women, okay? Because men are completely different hormones. But I'm talking to people, women, who want to see body change and maybe are very frustrated because they're not seeing body change and they're trying different things, or people who are just beginning on their journey. If you are someone who's been working at this for a while and you feel like I'm at a good place in my weight and my physique, I just love exercise and I want to keep going and I want to eat clean, wonderful, way to go, way to do it. What I'm going to say today may not all apply to you. I want you to keep the principles in mind because it's so easy to gain weight back, right? I want you to keep the principles in mind, but I want you to know that you can have a little bit more wiggle room and I could work with you on that. Today, I'm really speaking to those who are just frustrated. They're not seeing body change, all right? I want you to know you can see body change at any age. This is not bodybuilding, guys. This is just, this is us losing some inches, which would make us feel so good. It is maybe fitting into our clothes better. It's just feeling better in our own skin, seeing a little bit more tone, maybe feeling a little bit more athletic. It just feels awesome. It feels awesome. And that is what we are going for. And it's a journey. It is absolutely a journey, but any age, no matter what age you are, it can happen. You just have to have some effort. Where there's a will, there is a way. So let's talk about the dial movers. The dial movers. Oh, I should tell you, this is my home gym, a garage gym. I don't have a lot of stuff. You don't need a lot of stuff. I've never painted the walls. It does not have to look pretty. If you are waiting to start an exercise program because I just haven't decorated my exercise room how I want it, that's an excuse. That doesn't matter because you know what? You're going to decorate it and you're still not going to do it because you haven't changed your mindset. Okay? So I have nothing pretty. My dumbbells, I can kind of show you, are on the ground. I have a TRX, this strap, it's lovely. But my dumbbells, I don't even have a weight rack. I use that ball as my bench. You guys, I haven't spent that much money. I have a nice floor and I have a nice treadmill. And you're gonna learn why I have the treadmill in a minute. But I have a big wooden box over here that I do step-ups on and stuff like that for a little bit more of a cardio resistance training workout. But I mean, I've been doing this for 7 years, or I've had this kind of setup for 7 years. The Pacific Northwest is awesome because we can do it in the garage. We can have our gym in the garage. It just doesn't get too cold. So that's been a really nice thing, but then our cars are outside. But if you have a basement, a room in your house, you can even do it in the corner of a living room. You can put everything away and pull it out because you don't need that much for this to be effective. So even we're in quarantine and COVID right now, there's not a lot of excuses. If you can't get dumbbells, I don't know anymore if dumbbells are still on back order. I know that was a huge issue in the spring. I should have checked. But even using resistance bands, I mean stuff like this. This is an old resistance band, but these, and they come in different lengths and are different resistances. These are things that you can get online so easily. We'll be talking about all this in the program, even prior to the program, because I want you to have some equipment before you start. Resistance training is part of my program. Now, I don't know if you're doing it or not, but you're going to hear a lot about it, whether you like it or not. But you guys, we have to just accept this. It's not, most women, I do believe they're not seeing their body change because of, consistency. That was day 2's talk, but also because they're not, inconsistency in weight training. They're not doing it enough to lay down more lean muscle mass. So the other part with resistance training, and the kind of resistance training I'm talking about, is kind of old school. It doesn't have to be CrossFit and these boot camps that use dumbbells and things like that. We have a great boot camp here in my neighborhood, and I love it because there's a lot of weight used in this boot camp, and that helps change bodies. There's a lot of boot camps out there that just do body weight, And you're going to hear in a second why that doesn't work as well. But if you CrossFit boot camps that use different weights and things like that, if you like that, go for it. But I know a lot of people are intimidated by that. But you don't have to go and join those things. You can do it in your own home because you can go old school. Sets and reps works wonderfully. It works wonderfully. And how does it work wonderfully? Well, it creates, if you do it right, progressive overload. We need to challenge our muscles to see like more lean muscle mass be laid down. A really easy way to say it. But you have to create progressive overload. And I'm going to teach you that. What I see time and time again, and I hear from women, oh, Kim, I'm doing your workouts, but I only have 5 pounds or 8 pounds. And they're like, I'm going to buy another pair, but they never do. And they're using that same weight all the time. They're not going to see body change. It's better than nothing. Always something is better than nothing, but they are not going to see body change. You have to challenge your muscles. I like to say, the goal, now when you're starting, it's really small, but your ultimate goal is to work up to like 3 to 4 sets of like 8 to 12 reps somewhere in there, and doing big muscle moves, big compound moves like squats and deadlifts and pushes and pulls. You all can do them. I promise you all can do them. And I have tutorial videos within my program to show you all of those, okay? But it's important to have progressive overload. And that's what I love. CrossFit creates that. But it's very high intensity, so I don't necessarily recommend that for someone brand new. Plus, I don't think you can go right now. And the boot camp in my neighborhood, shout out to Jacqueline and Evolve Strong or Evolve Fitness. They just do such a good job because she makes them use weight. If you have something like that near you, I'm okay with it. But if you're not using weight, it's not resistance training. Yes, body weight is lovely. It might be a good place to start, but we've got to progress you to using weights. All right. I hope that makes sense. How many days a week? I didn't say that. I am probably going to recommend like 2 to 3 days a week. And again, I'm going to write this out more clearly for you in the program, in the Fresh Start program. But yeah, in general, like 2 to 3 days a week of old school weight training. I love it. That's how I learned it in college. And can it be a little boring? Yes, but you put your music on and you just go to town and you get it done. And man, consistently done, consistently overloading your muscle. I'm not talking like kill yourself. I'm not talking that at all. But feeling like, wow, I really worked that muscle today, you will see results. Okay, number 2, restorative movement. This is a huge one as well. Resistance training and restorative movement make up the bulk of my workout programs. Restorative movement is walking, not running, walking, and things like yoga. Restorative type stuff, restorative walking. I'm not talking like massive power walking, although everyone who walks with me is like, this isn't restorative. I am a very fast walker. It's like genetic in my family, or on the women in my family, I think. But restorative, getting outside in nature every opportunity you have. I know you guys in the Midwest and in the East Coast, a little bit more difficult. However, there is plenty of stuff they make nowadays. We live in the golden age of, golden age, is that what you say? But we live in the age of really good fabrics that can keep you very warm. And so it takes away excuses. I know you can be cold, but you have hand warmers, toe warmers. You can put yak tracks on your feet to keep you safe from slipping. You could go snowshoeing. That's fantastic. You can go cross-country skiing. Getting out in nature is so incredibly restorative, and you will find it can be very, very blissful. Yoga is another wonderful, like more of like the hatha yogas where you're just moving through flows, and you don't have to be good at yoga. I'm terrible at yoga. But man, when I don't easily sit down and do yoga. I need to. I've learned that about myself as I've aged. I have to slow it down. I have to decrease my anxiety. And yoga has been amazing. And I'm so excited. We have a yoga instructor in the membership who is now doing monthly yoga classes for us. And they're lovely. She has the best voice. Amy, if you're watching this, thank you. Oh, she's just a lovely person. She's in the Seattle area, and we're just so blessed to have her providing yoga classes that we can do at home and not worry about what we look like anytime, how ridiculous we look in a pose or something. It's just lovely. I'm so excited. It's helped me do it more often. So restorative, you guys, here's the big thing about restorative. We live such busy lives. It's our culture. It's our culture. And I haven't found too many people that when you say, how was your week, that they don't say, oh, it's been pretty busy. You know, it's just kind of like our response. And I'm so sick of that word. I'm so sick of that word. It's not going to get less busy. There's never going to be a good time to start. And you know what? When things are crazy, it might even be the best time to start, to prove to yourself that you can do this at any point in your life. I hear it all the time. Oh, it's just not the right time. It's not the right time. And, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's never going to be the right time for them. I feel for them. Why am I saying that? Oh, we need to take control of our stress hormones now. And by getting outside in nature, breathing, getting in touch with ourselves with yoga really helps lower our cortisol, which is a hormone you're going to learn so much about in the program. It's a stress hormone. And guess what? Kind of a bummer. If you can stress yourself to being fat. You don't have to eat yourself to fat. You can stress yourself to fat. So stress isn't going away. They're like, our families stress us out, right? Our kids stress us out. Money stresses us out. It's here to stay. Social media stresses us out. Now you can stop looking at social media. The news, you can stop looking at the news, which I highly recommend. But there's certain things like your family that you can't. And you have to learn to just work with it. How can you manage it better within your lifestyle? And I promise if you take control of your stress, you will handle the other stresses much better. Rejuvenating, restorative movement is a big part of my program. It's an everyday thing. I recommend it like every single day. And I'm talking just blissful walks. Now you might be like, blissful. Come on, Kim, that's not blissful. Give me a consistent, maybe week 2, 3 weeks. And I think you'll find it's blissful. If you just dig in and do it for 2 to 3 weeks, I bet if you were to quit doing it, you would miss it. It's that lovely. I love the word lovely. It's that lovely. You need it. Your body will thank you, and you will see better results. We've got to lower that cortisol. It's really vital. Anything else I wanted to say about that? I did put down here, if you are new to all of this, like brand new to exercise and eating clean, and you feel like you've got a lot of body fat to get rid of, I will probably start you on walking only. So don't feel intimidated, like there's just overwhelmed, too much going on. I'll probably start you with getting consistent with walking, and then we will start incorporating more of the strength. I also want to tell you, this little treadmill back here, I want to encourage you. If you live in those crazy states that have really harsh winters, some of you, because I was one of them, I still went outside, okay? But there are days where it's really miserable, right? I don't know with COVID if the malls are open to walk. I know in Minnesota we had domes, indoor domes that we could go walk on the turf field. It was lovely. At least it was an option, right? I have no idea if those are open or not. All I'm going to say about treadmills is they're awesome to have. It's such a great backup to have. Yes, they're not all, I spend a lot of money on mine, but this is my job. Right now, I know they're expensive, but there are so many deals like 0% financing and things, you guys. If this is a big deal for you, and this is like for some of you, your body shape, how you feel, your energy, it's not at a good place and it's depressing you. And how long are you going to let that go? How long are you going to let that keep going? Because 5 years from now, are you still going to be in the same place? We've got to maybe invest in ourselves a little more And maybe it means buying a treadmill if you live in those states. Maybe even if you live here because you just don't like to go. I think nature is so important, guys. But hey, maybe you should do a little bit of research. And you can even find used ones as well. Used treadmills and things like that. I will always have one. My husband isn't into nature as much as I am. He likes it, but he sure loves he only allows himself to watch Netflix if he's on the treadmill. Otherwise, he can't watch it. I think that's awesome. I'm actually really proud of him because this has been a long time coming. There's so many uses, really positive uses for having that 365 days of the year. If you have an elliptical trainer, things like that, get them out and use them. Get them out and use them, okay? Just low restorative, not hard hitting stuff, low and restorative, okay? All right, number 3 is we got to talk about cardio. Cardio is, let me start it with this, is the cherry on top. It's the little cherry on top of your week. It is not the main part of your week. I think too many women are doing cardio thinking they're doing the right thing. I totally understand. You're misinformed. You're confused. Well, maybe you're not confused. You're just misinformed. Cardio burns calories. Well, our fat loss doesn't have a lot to do. Yes, we have to have a caloric deficit. We do have to have a caloric deficit, but it has everything to do with building lean muscle mass. Guess what? Cardio does not build lean muscle mass. It does help a caloric deficit, or it helps burn calories in the moment. In the moment, you're burning calories, okay? And I'm talking like just a group exercise class that you're not using weights. Group exercise classes, like aerobic classes or running long distances. That's the kind of cardio I'm talking about, where you're not using weight. I love it. The endorphins are so high. I get it. I get it. If you are trying to create body change and you're frustrated, it's not the type of exercise that is the most bang for your buck. You need to replace your cardio with strength training, with resistance training. And then I'm also going to talk about HIIT training, which does fit into a fat loss lifestyle. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that next. But with the cardio, I just really want you to realize that it's kind of counterproductive. It increases your hunger. And then the other thing, the pounding increases your cortisol. And we do it for long periods of time, way too long. More is not better, guys. More actually leads usually to injury and then also to no body change because you're too stressed out. Your body feels too much stress and you're sore and things like that. Remember, I'm talking to those who are looking for body change. I'm not talking to those who are already at a body that they're pretty happy with. You can do more running and more of that. And I also want to say there are people right now who are watching this because I've got a running group I've got a couple running groups that are part of my program. It's important. I love running. Oh my gosh, I wish I could run. I can't run anymore. I have a hamstring issue that I just decided no more. But it's important to know that if you have goals for races, I get it. But like that's a season. And then if you are still frustrated with your body shape, then you need to take a season and focus focus on resistance training. Okay? Like cyclical. If you're always doing cardio and you're trying to lose fat, you're always going to be frustrated. Okay? You can lose weight. But you're not losing fat. You're actually wasting away your muscle a little bit. And that's why there are some really, really amazing looking runners, don't get me wrong, but there's also a lot of runners who it increases their hunger so much that they run a lot, but then they eat it right back in calories and carbohydrates mainly. So I just want you to be really aware if you are a runner, a long distance runner, or you love running or love group exercise classes like step classes and all these, I don't even know. I mean, boot camps without weight. I love them too, you guys, but they can't be taking up most of your week. I'm going to tell you 1 or 2 times a week if you're trying to create body change. That's what I'm going to tell you. So you're going to see this in the program, but it's so powerful. I want you to envision a triangle. The base of the triangle is the biggest part. We're going to break it into thirds. The base, the middle, and the top. The top is like the cherry. The bottom is restorative movement because we can do that daily. We can do and we should do that daily. The middle is strength resistance training. That's a really good chunk. That's important. And we're doing that, depending on when you're starting, like anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week and depending what kind of workouts you're doing. Not long workouts. They do not have to be long workouts. Don't stress out there, okay? And then the cherry on top is a little bit of cardio sprinkled in. One of my favorite ways to do cardio on my cardio day is intervals. It was a favorite way. I can't really run anymore, and every time I try this, I re-aggravate my hamstring. But I love to just do, if it's on my treadmill or outside, usually it's outside, I do a minute of walking, a minute of running, fairly hard for me, a minute of walking. So intervals, great way to stay, to not stress your body out too much, like continuous cardio does, and to give you more bang for your buck in less time. I don't do that for an hour. I do that for maybe 20 or 30 minutes at the most, and I listen to my body depending how I'm feeling. It's a great way to do cardio when you are looking for fat loss. So if you have the Peloton bike or any kind of bike, you can do intervals on that. If you have an elliptical, you can do intervals on that, just like that, but not this long, hour-long sludge fest. That's not going to move the dial. The other type of training I really love is HIIT training. This is more for intermediate to advanced. So if you're beginning, I wouldn't start here, but HIIT training, how I like to describe it, it's cardio with weights. And the way I like to teach it is I take 4 or 5 exercises and we just put them in a continuous cycle for 15 or 20 minutes. And you do like 8 to 10 reps. You're using weights, you're using a good amount of weight, whatever you can handle with good form. And you keep going until your timer runs out and you rest when you need to. There's no built-in rest. You just rest when you need to and get back to it. It's called rest-based training. It is a lovely, fantastic way to get done. For you busy women, it's a great way to do it, and it gets results if you are challenging your muscles and you're also getting your heart rate up. It's a good feeling kind of workout. I just want to remind you, like with cardio, you're burning calories in the moment. And it's not all, we're not calculators, guys. It's not all about calories, but you're burning calories in the moment. When you do resistance training, progressive overload, you are creating this metabolic burn throughout your body that lasts hours post-exercise. That helps keep that metabolism revved up, and you're able to kind of burn through energy quite a bit more. That's another great benefit of doing resistance training over cardio. Okay, all right. Let me see if I have anything else to say because I could go on and on and on. I hope, I don't want to ruffle feathers. I do love cardio too, but it's not a dial mover for body change. Okay, I will help you figure this out during the challenge, which I'm going to talk a lot about. It's called the Fresh Start, and I'm going to talk a lot about that on Friday. There's going to be some exercise videos and also videos on just how to do each move because most of us are working out at home, but there also will be workouts and things like that to help guide you and get you started. Remember, 1 month is nothing. I mean, that was really bad. 1 month is a lot. It's getting you started, but you're not going to see massive results in 1 month. I do believe if you're brand new, if you're a newbie, you're going to see some amazing things in 1 month. But if you're not so much a newbie, but you're just kind of getting back into it, you'll see some change and you'll be excited. It's post-January that you've got to keep this consistently going to really, again, all about consistency. It's a long journey. There's ups and downs and all of that. And this has to be part of that consistent journey is this new lifestyle. And I'm going to tell you another part of my philosophy. I am very big on encouraging morning workouts. I know that it doesn't matter when you work out. You just have to get it in. But I'm going to tell you, as women, I just meet so many women who work out later in the day, or they say they're going to work out later than it, and they're thinking about it and stressing about it all day long. Oh my gosh, we don't need to add more stress to our lives. If you can work out later in the day and not really worry about it and think about it, perfect. But if you're one of those, and then you get to that part of the day where you said it, you were going to work out, but then something comes up, because so much can happen during the day. You're like, oh, tomorrow. You guys, tomorrows are killing us. When you do it first thing in the morning, when you change your habits and start doing it first thing in the morning, it'll change your life. It really, really will. It's hard. If you're not a morning person, yeah, it's hard. Get up, have a cup of coffee then. I'm okay with that. Have a cup of coffee, rev yourself up. It will take some time to get used to it, but you will learn how wonderful it is if you just dig in and commit yourself to a couple weeks. Give me a couple weeks. Go for it. You're going to be tired for a while until your body gets used to this new routine. It'll change your life. It really, really will. So you'll hear me talk about morning workouts, and that's really why, because I'm trying to lessen the stress throughout the day and thinking about your workout. Okay. Strength, restore, and a little bit of cardio on top. That's really, we're going to hit the strength and the restorative big time. If there's anything you can do right now, it's start walking. Start walking. I recommend 30 minutes a day. It can be broken up if that's what it needs to be. And progressing to up to 10,000 steps today 10,000 steps a day is a great goal eventually. And we're doing this most days of the week. It becomes part of your daily routine. It doesn't have to be every single day. No, but it should be most days of the week. I have not missed a walk since January 2nd. I haven't missed a walk since January 2nd. I wish I had started it on January 1st, but 21, I'm not going to miss a walk. I have not missed a walk, and it feels so good to say that. It's just part of my day. I listen to podcasts. I walk with friends. I even walk with some of my clients in meetings. It's just lovely. And with COVID, it's been such a wonderful escape from my house. So you're going to hear a lot about that. Okay. Please, any questions, put them in the comments. I'll get back to you. But we have so much to cover in January. I don't want to overwhelm you. You're all going to start at a different point, okay? And that's okay. We can't overhaul everything right away. That's why this is a long journey. So you're going to pick in January, what is the most important thing right now? If you're eating terribly, we have to start with food. Maybe a little bit of walking. But if you feel like you've got the food pretty dialed in, then we need to start on resistance training, okay? Taking down that cardio and getting consistent on that resistance training. So we don't have to do it all at once. Please know that. Please know that. You know, my day looks like I get up in the morning, I have a cup of coffee, I am out the door between 5:30 and 6 for a walk. I love to walk in the dark. I love it. There's nobody out. It's just beautiful. Love it. I love to see the sun start to come up, although it's not right now because it comes up so late. But Mount Rainier, I live near Mount Rainier. We can see it from our neighborhood. And when I can see the sun coming up over Mount Rainier, there's just no better way to start the day. No matter where you live, there's beauty. No matter where you live, there's beauty. But so that takes up 30 to 45 minutes of my morning. And then I'll come home, see how my kids are doing. And then I go into this little lovely sanctuary and I do my 20 to 30 minute strength workout. And then later in the day, I usually walk again. And it's 20 to 30 minutes with my kids, my husband, stuff like that. Not every day do I get that second walk in, but I also have a treadmill that I can easily get it in. But I am working out an hour to an hour and a half. I walk more than I need to, but I love it. I work out like, let's say an hour to an hour and 10 minutes a day, but over half of that is walking, restorative walking. And then about 2 to 3 times a week, I really try to just get a 20 to 30 minute yoga flow in. And I finally have found a rhythm with that. It feels so, so good. It's very blissful. Believe me, it's going to take time for you to feel that blissfulness. But I just need you to dig deep, to commit for a couple weeks. And I promise you, you will get there. I haven't met anybody who did it religiously for them, but listening to my coaching for a couple weeks, and then if they miss a day or two, they miss it. They're like, oh, that walking, I miss my time in nature by myself, or with my music, or with this podcast, or with this book on tape. It's just awesome. It's awesome. Okay, tomorrow we're talking how to win the weekends. I feel like the weekends are really derailing so many people. I'm going to give you some tips. This is a hard one. It's a very hard, another testy subject, but we need, if you want body change, You've got to learn how to utilize the weekends in your favor. All right, you guys, thanks so much for listening. I hope some light bulbs went on, and I hope I've motivated you a little bit to want to know more and to maybe you don't have to do it with me. I just hope you'll do something. I hope you'll start strength training, even if it's not with my program, just get going. Homework, I want you guys to try to get some walking in today. Can you get some walking in, no matter where you live, around the block, up and down your stairs? Go for a long walk if you live near me, you guys. We've got great weather today, even if it's raining. Get outside, it's not that cold. Can you go for a walk? 15, 20, 30 minutes? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Get out and do it. All right, we'll see you tomorrow for Winning the Weekend. Bye-bye.